Oh, so we're live now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if you're watching, what's up? Obviously, you can see the title of the show. Wondering how many of you watched the fight? Fight?
Yeah. Wait. Let's harp on the word watch.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into that.
All right. Let's start with the fact that obviously the undercard, I'm pretty sure everybody that was watching saw that clear as day. Okay. I want to say halfway through Taylor and Serrano, shit started happening.
For me, it
And
started earlier than that. It started like shortly after that fight started.
I mean, I'm like, okay, I get it, I get it. Now, I kind of anticipated, some issues because Netflix never done this before, and it's like I would, if you knew you had this fight on the docket for months, got postponed even. Hey, I don't know, maybe get the NFL involved. Hey, can we stream one of y'all games and test this out before we go worldwide with this fight?
Man, at first I thought it was just my own internet because I've had some internet problems here at my house recently. I've got it upgraded, it's going better. But I thought tonight maybe those problems were coming back, and I was trying everything. And then finally, when you called me or text me and said you were having issues, I was like, okay, so it's not just me. And then you said another person we both know was also having issues. And then I got online, I Googled it and saw that it was like all over the place, buffering issues. Some people were just getting the black screen of death. They just couldn't see nothing. So yeah, Netflix needs to get their shit together because I guess you probably saw the same advertisement I did during the Paul Tyson fight that on Christmas Day they're going to carry two games live, two NFL games.
Yeah.
And then for those that don't know, starting in January of 2025, Monday Night Raw, which has been a fixture on the USA network for the past 25 or so years, is now going to be live on Netflix. So, I mean, now granted, the interest in this fight because of Mike Tyson is probably bigger than anything Netflix has ever done. I think it's safe to say that. But that's not an excuse for not being prepared. You're the highest profile streaming company in the world, and you should have had your act together. But tonight you did not.
Well, like you said, streaming is what they do, meaning uh, content that's already done, finished products is what they put out. Live events is not what they do. So that's why I was saying, so okay, let's backtrack. For those you're living under a rock right now and you happen to turn on the stream, what happened was
Yeah,
this
what
card
happened
had
was
four bouts, four boxing matches. First two, no issues. During the third match, with Serrano and Taylor, either at the beginning for me towards the middle of the match, that's about round three or four, um, started having connection issues. And then I started getting text messages from other people that are having connection issues. It's getting later in the evening, more and more people are tuning in. So Netflix is like shutting down. I couldn't even, I tried watching on PS5, I tried watching on the TV, tried went upstairs, tried to watch on that TV. I had to watch this fight on my phone.
so did I.
That was the only thing that was working. So, all right. I think we've harped on that enough. Netflix is going to get murdered enough in the news and all that about buffing issues. The memes came out quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Hey man, rightfully so though. But look, Netflix will. I'm confident they'll get it together. It's not like we had to pay an additional $50 to watch this. All right, it came with our regular subscription. I will give them credit for that. I think it's cool that we got to see, a good boxing card, and we didn't have to pay the usual pay-per-view price, which is about 80, 90 bucks. Tomorrow is UFC 309. I think if you buy that, that's going to cost you 80 or 90 bucks, depending on whether you buy the HD or regular version. So at least we didn't have to come out of pocket that way.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go in order here like we always do. Tonight, I think the grade system should change this a little bit. This isn't a wrestling show, this is a boxing show. So we're gonna go back to old school letter grade format here. But did you pull up the card by chance?
Yeah, I got some of the let me see. I've got the second fight. I'm trying to remember the names of the fighters in the first fight. I know one Goyat. There was
Goyat and
yeah. Let me get the names up. I should have been prepared. Sorry, folks. We went live right after the fight.
We were literally right after. It's all good.
Okay, yeah, Niraj Goyat against Wenderson Nunes.
Yeah, Nunes. Yeah. So, I'm gonna just go ahead and put this out here right now. This fight sucked. Okay. And it's not Goyat's fault. Goyat was the only thing interesting about the fight because he was throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at Nunes, and Nunes just was in there doing this the whole time. He barely threw anything. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you gonna fight? And it got to the point where this is gonna get memed to death too. Nunes is in the corner with his facing the turnbuckle, and Guyat goes behind him and starts thrusting. I'm like, what is happening? Is this boxing? WWE don't even do this. This is AEW shit right here. And then how the fight ends with Guyat throwing those punches. It don't really look like Roy Jones said, he wasn't really throwing them with his knuckles. Kind of more like an open hand the way he was hitting. That's why Nunes was able to stand up. But he just surrendered. And I'm just like, why are you here if you just gonna quit?
Yeah, man, Nunes was way overmatched. He probably shouldn't have even been on this card. I'm not sure why he was. Obviously, Goyat was the favorite here, the far more experienced fighter, and Nunes was just there to get beaten, and that's what happened. And yeah, this wasn't a good start, but
It was an F.
Yeah, if I'm giving a grade, this definitely is an F. But the good thing about it is that all of the fights that followed this one were solid fights.
This was the worst.
By far.
Wow.
By far. But the other three, I felt more than made it. Well, two of the other ones made up for it.
Yeah.
Not all three.
All right. Go ahead. Throw us the next one.
Okay. The next fight was between Marco Barrios, who was, I believe, I'm trying to remember which championship. I think it was
WBC.
Man, there's some WBC, WBA, IBA, IBF. IBO.
He had WBC. He had WBC for sure.
Yeah, championship.
Welterweight.
Welterweight. Okay, yeah, it was Mario Barrios, kind of a funny name, against Abel. Gosh, what's Abel? I had it.
Yeah, Chavez? Not Chavez.
No, Abel Ramos.
Ramos.
And as this fight started, you could tell that Barrios was the champion. I mean, he was taking it to Ramos, and I almost thought he was going to get Ramos out of there. But like third or fourth round, Ramos came back. And
before even that, Ramos got knocked down.
He did. And it was, it was a legitimate knockdown because his glove hit the canvas.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he was sprawled all the way out, but a legit knockdown because his glove did touch the canvas. But to his credit, got up, kept fighting, and was landing punches. And to me, he got a couple of those middle rounds. I thought he won some of those middle rounds. And to me, it looked like he might turn this thing around. He landed some punches on Barrios, and I thought they both were bloody, and I thought he might pull it out. But the last couple of rounds, Barrios came back like a champion should, and he closed out the fight with some hard shots on Ramos and got the decision.
Well, it was a tie, so I guess
Oh yeah, I guess I forgot. You know
a
what? It was a
draw. I
draw.
mean, and
Yeah,
he kept the belt because it was kind of close because uh, Ramos came back and knocked him down. So um, and the last couple rounds were very physical. I mean, these guys' eyes were swollen. They didn't hold anything back. I mean, this was a fight. I texted you. I said, "This is a fight here." These two
yeah.
were going at it,
This
and
is one I definitely think they will run back.
yeah, they have to. They got to get a decision on this one. And kudos to Ramos too, because I mean, he was shorter. Barrios was like 6'1", 6 feet tall, and you could tell because he's taller and he's got more reach. But I mean, when you it's about to decide to fight the dog, not the dog in the fight. So yeah, I will watch those two fight again for sure. So probably the most controversial fight of the night.
And to
Ironically,
me, the best fight.
um, not the main event, but uh, Amanda Serrano and
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor. The first few rounds, Serrano had her ass, and people gonna speculate. They're gonna say what they're gonna say about the headbutt. All right, I don't know. I'm not a boxing expert, but the first headbutt looked like an accident. I'll say that it didn't look intentional. I mean, they kept showing the replay and it kept looking like I don't think she. The way they were going at it, it looked like they both were kind of off balance, and it just happened. It's unfortunate that big deep gash had to happen.
Yeah, and it was in a bad spot for Serrano, right on the eyebrow, which is
Right?
terrible
Yeah,
because then what happens is the blood runs into your eye. It affects your vision. You can't see some of those punches coming because you don't have the peripheral vision. So, yeah, that made it more difficult for Amanda Serrano.
yeah, and so I probably made it to around 6 or 7. Um, and they're boxing, and it's still like Serrano is still charging Taylor. Taylor's fighting back, but at the same time, she's clinching and clinching and clinching every 2 seconds. And it just at that point, it looked like she was almost trying to headbutt her again and make it look like an accident this time. Because that head, I mean, every time she clinched, she's throwing that head at Serrano. I'm like, I don't like that. Obviously, Serrano's coach didn't like that because he had a lot to say after the fight. But like I said, I got to around 7 and my stream went caputo. Okay. I didn't get to see the last round at all. By the time I got a stream back up, the fight was over and they were interviewing Serrano. So I had to I was basing it off of that she lost because her manager was pissed.
Yeah, like you, I had the same problems with Netflix. I actually was watching it on another stream. I won't mention the name because it's not Netflix.
Right.
But I was able to see the fight in and out. From what I saw, and it's tough because I didn't see every moment of the fight. But what I did see, I felt like the gash that Serrano had over her eye, to her credit, they asked her if she wanted to continue, and of course she's
Yeah.
going to say yes, just like
And the
any
crowd
fighter.
popped.
Yeah, yeah. But I could tell that that still made her kind of tentative, which you can understand. Like I said, the blood is dripping into her eye; she can't see very well, and she's coming forward, but in doing that, she's taking some shots she might not normally take if she had all of her vision. I like the aggressiveness. I like when a fighter is coming forward. I understand, Floyd Mayweather's a defensive fighter. He didn't really come forward a lot. Um,
Mhm.
he would move back and he would avoid shots and then land them when he could. So it depends really on if you like which style you like. Serrano, I like Serrano's style because she comes forward. She was delivering punches. I thought she won the first fight between these two, but Katie Taylor got the decision. A lot of people feel the same way here, but I don't know. I feel like this fight was a little closer. And based on what I saw, I actually thought Katie Taylor won it because she just had the shot she was landing seemed to hurt Serrano more than the punches Serrano was landing on her. That gash over Serrano's eye, you could tell that it was affecting her. She wasn't as effective a fighter as she would have been had she not had that gash. I think it would have been a different fight. So I'm going against the grain on this one, and I was for Serrano. I like Serrano.
Yeah,
I thought she
yeah.
won the first fight, but I don't know. The punch that said Katie landed the lesser amount of punches and the lesser percentage, but it just seemed like the punches she landed were cleaner and more effective than Serrano's.
Maybe in the end, like I said, I didn't see the end, but in the beginning, Serrano was giving her the business. Like Taylor was not keeping up at all. She was backing down. She kept trying to clinch. And that's where the headbutt came in. That's probably going to be a big talking point, when Monday gets here and First Take and all the sports shows. They're going to talk about the main event, obviously, but to not talk about what these two ladies did will be a crime. Number one, and number two, it's the controversial thing. Like, was the headbutt on accident? All that stuff. They gotta have the rubber match, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm here for it. Anytime those ladies are in the ring together, man, special things happen. And if they sign that fight, man, I'm there. I'm there for it. I love watching these two fight, and it's great what they're doing for the sport of women's boxing. And to me, by far, this was the best fight on the card, and I had a feeling that it would be coming in.
Yeah, Amanda Serrano didn't hold back either. I mean, she's like 100% intentionally headbutted me. I mean, I guess if you go back and look at her fights, they're saying that's what she does. But
Yeah, and maybe that's true. I can't say yes, I can't say no. I do
I
know
can't
that there
even.
are fighters who come in, with their head down, and I think sometimes it might seem that they're headbutting you, but I don't know why anybody would intentionally butt somebody else in the head. I mean that hurts, but you know, I guess there are some fighters who do that. But I would have to go back. I'm hoping that what I can do is because of the issues with Netflix, I can actually go back and watch the fight straight through without any interruptions, and that way I can make a full and more informed decision
Yeah,
based on the entirety of the fight instead of you know
all the glitches.
all the glitches and the intermittent
Yeah,
issues
a lot of them.
with the Netflix stream tonight.
Hmm. All right, get to the main event here. Obviously, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Been waiting on this for almost a year now, and got the national anthem sung. Uh, Both men make their entrances. Jake Paul, of course, makes the grand entrance. Mike with the old school, all black, with the ripped up shirt, like he always did.
Just as a quick
Uh,
aside, had you heard of the girl Tori Kelly who had sang the national anthem? Have you heard her? You familiar with her?
no, I kept trying to look at it. She kind of looked familiar, but I
Okay,
couldn't.
because I didn't, but I'm older, so I thought it was just me being the old guy.
No, I couldn't place her either.
Okay,
She
okay.
looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. Let's let's just get to it. First two rounds obviously went to Mike. He was aggressive. Rob has said this since this fight was announced. Mike's got to get him out of there in the first two rounds. The longer it goes, the worse it's going to be for Mike. Um, and that was the case. I mean, that's just boxing. I had to box in the police academy. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I haven't made the video yet about my experience in the police academy, but we boxed 3 weeks in a row. I also did what they call pugil sticks. If you know anything about American Gladiator, when they were fighting on
Mhm.
the towers and they had those
Yeah, and
sticks.
they
Those
got
are called
those.
bugle sticks. I did
Yeah.
that in the army, which is almost like boxing. Let me tell you, you get winded really quick. And it I have a newfound respect for boxing after having to do it. Thankfully, some of the stuff I can relate to. Like I've always worked out. I've always worked on having shoulders, back, and chest. I think that paid dividends when I was boxing because I could take a punch, and I was all right. But I got like you said though, getting back to the point, um, he had to get Jake out of there quick. 58 years old. I do 100%, 110% believe Mike hits hard still,
Oh yeah.
but the point remains the same. We all saw it. Father Time catches up with everybody. Um, is the average person who get in the ring with Mike? Hell no.
Come on
He'll
now.
knock your ass out.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I had faith in him, but even I knew like the longer this goes, the more it hurts him. 27 or 28 versus 58. I mean, there's just no, well, especially when both men are training. There's just no. I mean, when you're in your 20s, you just have more energy. You just do. Okay, you just do. I'm still in my 30s, but I know that I'm older than I am from 10 years ago. I feel the difference. You know, Um, I still lift. I was not stronger in my 20s, and I was lighter, but I was stronger. Heavier now. I don't lift as much heavy weight. Uh,
Same here. Same here.
so it's a balance thing. But as the fight went on, you kind of tell, and Roy was pointing it out. You know, I didn't get so obsessed with him biting the glove. He was doing that. I don't really care about that so much. But the thing that Roy did mention that I was kind of trying to pay attention to was his legs and his footwork. You know, ain't nobody had footwork like better than Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying?
The greatest
Yeah.
to me. To me.
So to a lot of people, I mean, that footwork is important in there. So you need footwork for a lot of sports: basketball, football, damn
Mhm.
sure boxing. Gotta have that footwork, and it just wasn't there. Um, he tried to come back in the seventh round, coming out strong. But when they went at the end of the seventh round, I could tell he was winded. His mouth was open, and it's okay. At 58 to go 8 rounds, period, 2, 3 minutes. Now he didn't get knocked down. Neither man got knocked down. It's just the better man won. Um, I'm not gonna sit up here and make excuses saying Jake Paul signed up to fight 58-year-old Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson also agreed to do it. Okay. What I would like to see Jake Paul fight people his own age. Okay. I would like to see you fight a real challenger, right? Like even people in the black community thought like, okay, yeah, Mike's strong and everything, but a lot of people was like Jake 27, Mike's 58. Like, come on.
But most people thought Mike was going to win this fight. Everybody you
Yeah.
talked to, Roy Jones, Lennox Lewis, they talked to Shaq tonight. I was watching a talk show today. Akbar Gabaja and Mila was they was all sure Mike was going to win. Me, not so much.
Adam Smith, the Tyson fight was so boring, even Netflix slept through the whole thing. Netflix fell asleep
That's good. That's good.
before this fight came on, okay? Jesus.
Yeah.
They gotta get that fixed. Because like you said, Raw's going to Netflix. They're trying to stream 2 football games. Yeah,
Yeah, and
they gotta get
obviously
this shit going.
they're making their transition into live programming. So I mean, come on, you got to get it together.
Yeah,
And
you
this
know.
wasn't the first live program they've had. I don't think it's a live fight, but I think they've had other live events. I think. Yeah, man. Just in July, I watched that hot dog eating contest. Kobayashi and Chestnut. That was live. Now, of course, the interest in that is not near what this was, but yeah, that was live.
Okay. You know what else was live? I forgot about the Chris Rock special.
Right. The one he did after the Will
Hmm.
Smith incident. Yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
I think it was taped, but they put it on live.
I think well,
Or was
okay.
it live?
It was live, yeah.
Oh, it was live because he made a mistake.
Right,
That
he
was
did,
live.
yeah. But they edited it out when they replayed it. But yeah, it was
Yeah, they
live.
also took out the Jada joke too. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was live. But like you said, they had to have known this was going to garner way more attention than any of that other shit. He said Netflix saved everyone, in my opinion, from that travesty of a fight. You know what?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what people expected. Look, I know Mike was once the baddest man on the planet. And, if you eliminate any professional boxers, he probably still is the baddest man on the planet. I'm the same
Yeah,
age as Mike, but I ain't thinking about getting in the ring with Mike. Come on now. I'm not crazy. But did people think that we were going to see Mike is 58? Did they think we was going to see the 28-year-old Mike Tyson? I mean, what did people really think? Yeah,
I
he
just
looked like
thought that he would just stick and move, jab, jab, work. I
but
thought he
that's
would
never
work
been
the
Mike's
body.
style. Mike don't stick and move.
Well, no, 27-year-old Mike, no. I thought that this Mike would stick and move, work the body, and then try to catch Jake slipping and hit him with one of them crosses and an uppercut.
But
Like
that's not
that
Mike's
was his
style.
only hope, really.
Yeah, that was Mike's style. I mean, you can't teach. Look, old dog can't teach old dog new tricks. He's an old dog now, and you're trying to
Yeah.
teach him new tricks. That ain't what Mike did. You know, can't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, his age showed up. I had a feeling it would. Look, the power is going to be there. Now, here's a couple of things I didn't know until you informed me today. I thought these were going to be regular 3-minute rounds. Okay.
It was actually
Now,
Mike that requested 2 minutes
well, you know why, and you know why Mike probably requested that.
to go
You know,
longer.
yeah, his stamina. And then another thing is they used 14-ounce gloves when traditionally in a heavyweight boxing match you use 10-ounce gloves. Now
Right.
that means you're taking away some of Mike's punching power. Now I'm sure that Mike can still deliver a hard shot even at this age with the 14-ounce glove, but obviously it's more powerful if he's only wearing the 10-ounce gloves. Now that goes both ways because you wonder some of the shots that Mike took tonight. If Jake would have been wearing those 10-ounce gloves, would Mike have stayed on his feet? He took some hard shots tonight. So
There
yeah,
were
those are a couple of.
I feel like Jake landed a lot of hits, but I didn't feel like any of them were even close to staggering Mike.
I thought
Mike ate everything he took through at him.
I thought there were a couple that stung him, but yeah, you're right. It's not like Mike ever looked like he was about to go down or looked
Mm.
like he was in real danger.
He never even really wavered. I
To
don't
be
know.
honest, I kind of felt like Jake was kind of carrying Mike later in the fight. You could tell that Jake really loved Mike. I don't think he wanted to knock Mike out. He just wanted to win. But Mike had no business in the ring. Look, he looked good for a 58-year-old man, but he did look like a 58-year-old man. He had no business in the ring fighting Jake Paul tonight. If he'd have been fighting like an actual fighter, Mike would have been knocked out.
I will give Jake Paul this, and we'll keep this one short. I like that he respected Mike enough to realize what this really is. And at the end, he was kind of giving Mike his flowers, so to speak, with the battle. I'm not on bullshit, man. All right. At the end of the day, I look up to you. I'm trying to be like you. And he paid him his respect.
Yeah, man. There were 80,000 people there tonight. They weren't there to see Jake Paul.
No, no. So I mean, he knew his audience, if nothing else. He paid Mike his respect. He won. Am I surprised? Not really. Did I want Mike to win? Hell yeah. But
So did
am
I.
I
So
surprised he
did I.
lost? No. I mean, And here's the thing: there's no shame in losing. Yeah, Muhammad Ali lost.
Yeah, man.
You
Every
know,
great fighter, with the exception of Floyd Mayweather,
right?
has lost. Yeah.
You
So
know, there was a point in time Roy Jones was the baddest dude boxing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's just you
yeah,
had
but
your time.
yeah, yeah, man. Father Time is undefeated.
So, but you know what? It gave us something to look forward to. As you know, on a Friday night, I hadn't looked forward to anything on a Friday night since Blockbuster closed. So,
Oh, damn. Okay, how many years ago? How many? Damn, you going back a ways.
yeah.
Now,
Hey,
man, did you hear the post-fight interviews? They asked Mike, "Was this it?" And Mike was like, "I'm not sure." Mike was acting like he would fight again. And
no,
then it was funny because they asked him who, and he said, "Well, maybe his brother," talking about Logan. And Logan was like, "Motherfucker, I kill you, Mike." So I don't know if
no.
they're trying to set up something or if that was all just them having fun with each other. But yeah, Mike seemed to be open to the idea of fighting again, which I thought was crazy.
I cut it off because I was, all the issues with Netflix tonight. I just wanted to get through the fight, and once they announced who won and they shook hands and dapped up and hugged and all that, I turned it off. I was
Yeah,
ready to get on here and talk about it and be done with it because
yeah.
so you know I hey, it's over. It's
Yeah.
done.
We didn't really grade these fights. we
We didn't.
graded the first one.
So okay, let's run it
The
back.
next
I
two
will
fights would
give.
be look, uh Barrios and Ramos, that's an A. Serrano, Taylor, A plus. Jake Paul, Mike, I won't go F, but I will go D.
I won't be that harsh. Ramos, Barrios, A. Hmm. Taylor and Serrano. For me, and some of this has nothing to do with them. It's not their fault, but I didn't really get to. I didn't get to see the finish. And the head button. The first one I let go, but the second one not so much. I will go B on that one. And then as far as Tyson and Jake Paul, I'm gonna have to go. I'll go a little bit above you. I'll go C minus.
Okay.
Go C minus. Not the worst fight on the night. Not the worst fight in a while, but just not. I mean, Mike did the best he could, but after the first two rounds, it was kind of over with. So, an entertaining night overall. Only one that I skipped that first fight. That's all I got to say.
I'm in agreement. I want to go back and watch some of the prelim fights that weren't on the main telecast. There was a fight I was interested in. I thought was going to be on tonight's card, but it must have been on a pre-show, so I will have to catch that tomorrow. But I mean, had Netflix not had these buffering issues, I would have considered this still a fun, entertaining night of fights. But yeah, their buffering and their glitching issues really took away from it.
Yeah, people was memeing all night long. But hey y'all, another one in the books.
Yeah, give us your grades for
Yeah,
each
let us know
fight,
what
or
you
if you
all
just
thought
want to
of the
grade
fight.
just the last two. But yeah, if you watch the whole show, if you were able to watch the whole show with all the glitching, and you think you can give grades, let us know what your grades were.
Yep, it is late. I need to get to bed, and I'm
I
sure
do
Rob
too,
does
man.
too.
Got to get up, take my mommy's dogs to the vet.
All right. Well, thank you all for hopping on with us, catching the live, and we'll catch you all this week. Game streams. I know there's a few requests we gotta do as well, so just be on the lookout for those. Survivor Series at the end of the month. Take care, everybody. Catch y'all later.